Video on WKOW.com. 27 News. We've got you covered. You're watching Wake Up Wisconsin Weekends. Here's what's happening right now.
A winter wonderland. That's what many of us are waking up to this morning. A live look at Madison, and we'll have live team coverage with what's going on before you head out the door.
Split second, anything could happen.
And the dangers of working in winter weather, the risks a local tow truck driver faces anytime he responds to a car off the road.
Plus, the number of pediatric flu deaths are on the rise. What places of worship are now doing this morning to prevent the virus from spreading on this Sunday, February 4th, 2018.
You're watching Wake Up Wisconsin Weekend.
Good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Caroline Bach.
And I'm Nick Buffo. Snow has been falling across the state, and it continues for some of us this morning. We have team coverage for you. Catherine Larson's got you covered with what's going on the roads this morning.
And meteorologist Star Derry has been tracking the snow overnight. We turn first to her for a look at where the snow is falling right now. Good morning, Star.
Good morning to everyone on our team looking out for this coverage, and to you this morning waking up to probably a little bit of work on the driveway. A lot of us going to be shoveling here this morning because the bulk of the snow did fall overnight. On top of that, we have a wind chill advisory in a couple of spots, mainly far northwest Wisconsin, and then most of Minnesota also under that. A winter weather advisory still includes Madison, and that goes until noon, because really noon is going to be the marker of when this is all completely and officially over. So it wasn't a lot of snow, but it was a good amount of snow over a long period of time. So that's really what caused a couple of problems on the roads for many of us. I know it was very slow going coming into work this morning. Many roads are being worked on here, but still consider a longer drive for this morning. Now, here's what we're watching just over the last couple of hours. Now, the last of that snow moving on out of Madison now. We do have a heavier band of snow from just south of Madison up through Waterloo over toward Watertown, and that's going to continue to trek east-southeast here this morning. Now, over toward Eau Claire, Arcadia, you are done with the snow for today, and in fact, you're starting to clear up. Same idea for Superior and Duluth, Hibbing as well. You're actually starting to clear out the sky, and actually it was this area that we're looking at right now towards Superior that get the least of this. Most of the snow is La Crosse and south. Now, we are going to get into those snow totals a little closer in your local forecast, plus we're going to time out our next snowmaker. That's coming up before you know it. We'll time that all out for you coming up in just a few minutes. Nick and Caroline.
Star, thank you. Time now is 6:02, and snow has been steadily falling across Wisconsin all weekend.
Yeah, right now it's affecting the state's capital city the most. Catherine Larson is live in Madison monitoring the roads for us. Good morning, Catherine.
Hey, good morning, Caroline and Nick. Yeah, it is sure cold, sure snowy. I got to tell you, this morning, my dogs, they didn't even want to go outside to do their business. That cold. They wanted to curl up by the fireplace and watch Wake Up Wisconsin. And, maybe that's what we should all be doing instead of being out here in the snow. This is right by University Avenue. This is a main artery right here in Madison, heading down to the hospital system, to the downtown area. And usually this area is the first to be plowed by Madison Streets Division. But if you take a look around me, these streets are still very dangerous. We had many instances this morning even getting over here from the station where we were kind of in, coming to a red light and herky-jerky trying to get going again. It is very dangerous out here, so you want to keep that in mind as you're planning your morning commute. Besides University, the areas near the Beltline, those are going to be targeted first, although there will need to be many relapse today by these Madison snowplow crews. It is so cold out right now. The issue is that the salt is having some issues with sticking this morning. So keep that in mind. Things are not working as they should be to really get things going. But coming up at 6:30, we'll tell you a little bit more about what this snow looks like, and we'll share that with you again at 6:30. For now, reporting live in Madison, Catherine Larson, 27 News.
Definitely a day to take it easy on the roads this morning.
Yeah.
Catherine, thank you.
Very
Another area over to where snow has been coming down overnight. Let's take a live look at Milwaukee this morning. If you're a baseball fan, you'll recognize this view near Miller Park. It looks a little different than baseball season, though. As you can see, it is snow covered.
Yeah, that's right. And snow has let up in other parts of the state. Let's look live at Eau Claire this morning. This is US 53 at US 12. you can see crews have gotten to those roads. There is a little bit of snow still on them, but should be easy going for the most part this morning.
And this is what things looked like yesterday in Eau Claire. The Department of Transportation said the snow was responsible for numerous crashes and runoffs. In fact, it was like that much across the state as plow crews try to keep up with the weather and still are. Well, driving can be a big risk in heavy snow.
Yeah, David Johnson rode along with one tow operator who talks about the dangers he faces every day.
It's definitely scary. Put your hair on your neck.
Every time Kerry Mohammed hits the road in his tow truck, he knows potential danger awaits.
Split second, anything can happen.
Tow truck operators put their lives in danger every day, helping people stranded along roads and highways.
There are situations every day where you have close encounters.
With the snowfall moving through the area this weekend, the risk they face increases.
It is a dangerous situation for the operator or the emergency responder on the side of the road.
In Sauk County Saturday, a firefighter was injured while standing on the shoulder of a road by a driver who lost control of their vehicle.
It's a definitely scary feeling. It hits home when you hear stuff like that. You could be doing everything right on the side of the road, have your truck positioned in the way it's supposed to be positioned.
Mohammed recalls having a close call of his own when he was nearly hit by a semi.
Semi obviously couldn't move over. There's a lot of traffic, and just went right by me. I felt my jacket swirl, and I knew it was close.
So if you see an emergency vehicle on the side of the road,
don't react so suddenly where you create another accident or another scene.
That was David Johnson reporting. Mohammed also says give yourself plenty of time when you're heading out. Also, he says put your cell phone down. A lot of accidents happen because people just aren't paying attention.
We now turn to breaking news out of South Carolina. At least 2 people are dead and 50 are hurt after an Amtrak train and a freight train have collided near Casey. According to reports, 8 crew members and 139 passengers were on the train. It was traveling between New York and Miami. The lead engine and some of the Amtrak passenger cars derailed. Well, time now is 6:07 in this morning. Flu hospitalizations and deaths continue to rise. The CDC reported last week an additional 16 pediatric flu deaths. That now brings the total number of children killed by the virus so far this season to 53. 48 states, including Wisconsin, are reporting widespread flu activity. Still, a CDC spokesperson says the wave of flu cases has yet to peak. And so some Chippewa Valley churches are changing services because of the flu.
Today, these pews are going to be packed with people in close proximity to one another, maybe sharing a communal chalice or shaking hands. All perfect opportunities for germs to spread. Lots of Chippewa Valley churches are asking people who might be sick not to accept communion. And as for passing the sign of peace, the traditional handshake and peace be with you exchange, Trinity Lutheran in Eau Claire has gotten a little creative with this.
Sometimes we'll do one of these pieces or a fist bump, or we'll do the sign language for peace. Pretty much anything to let people know we want to share that peace, but not the flu.
Smith says even as a foam finger to protect a demonstrated gesture, not a handshake. She says the changes add some laughs to the service. Good to keep things light. Even celebrities get sick too.
Yeah, Pink's performance of the Star-Spangled Banner might be a little off during today's Super Bowl, and that's because she's also battling the flu. She announced the news on her Instagram Saturday morning, placing blame on her 2 kids. Her post features a picture of herself practicing reading, in part trying to practice the flu away. And in northwestern Wisconsin, officials are dealing with a different kind of issue with the Super Bowl: big crowds. Right now, Eau Claire County Emergency Management Coordinator Tyler Esch is working with the Chippewa Valley Airport and visit Eau Claire to get an idea of how to best keep people traveling through the area for the Super Bowl safe. Esch says in the event of a mass emergency in Minneapolis, hospitals with trauma centers in Wisconsin may be tapped for resources. Esch also says Eau Claire County Emergency Management tries to be involved in all major area events to make sure they go off without a hitch. Well, Americans eat more food on Super Bowl Sunday than any other day of the year, except, of course, for Thanksgiving.
I'm excited for this one. While the big game can be full of fun and food and friends and football, it can also be full of germs that you don't want to pass around. The CDC suggests tackling that buffet table at your party so food poisoning doesn't ruin the fun. Make sure it's clean and not contaminated with old food that could also contain bacteria. Also, cook everything really well. Make sure chicken wings reach a minimum internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit, and that any ground beef items also reaches 160 degrees when it's cooked. And for those cold foods, use small serving trays or bowls of ice to keep salsa and guac at about 40 degrees or colder. Most importantly, make sure everyone washes their hands before reaching in for some of that delicious grub.
Can't wait. All right, retiring later, why more and more baby boomers are waiting to reap the rewards of a lifetime of work.
And listen up, if you have an emotional support animal or even a service animal, some airlines are changing the rules about those animals on their planes this morning. It's 6:10 right now. You're watching Wake Up Wisconsin Weekend. We'll have your weather right after this.